Everybody, in this video we will see how to configure a deployment server. I have one search head and one heavy forwarder running, and I am going to use search head for the deployment server. Now what I will do, the first thing we need to do it is as we have to create the those deployment app directories for every app. So I'll go to cd opt and Splunk etc folder, and the first thing we need to do is to create those deployment directories for every app that we want to deploy. There you go. And for now I'm just going to create test the one app. Basically the default place for this is opt folder. All right, so opt etc deployment apps. Now let's create app for a directory for which we call it as a test. Remember, in this concept, in this kind of app, we can only do that if you want to send any one of the deployment client. It does not have to be an actual Splunk app. All right, I just used make directory command mkdir. All right, now this is going to be the exact place where you're going to reload mkdir. Here is our test directory. Okay, then we need to reload the deployment server. For that I have to go to forward management and go to settings, and we have one setting. It is going to be the test app, right? No server class, no deployment clients, because each deployment client we need to tell that where deployment server is present here. Name it as Linux heavy forwarder, and then now let's add test app to it. Okay, now we have to get ready the configuration same as a deployment server. Now let's create a new server class here. We'll only have one, which is a Linux heavy forwarder. Now we go back to the forwarder management after you create this. These are the apps that I am creating, and after this I will have to go back to our forwarder management. This is how you create the server class with the Linux underscore heavy forwarder. Go back to the forwarder management. Now connect to heavy forwarder command to set up the deployment client. I am going to this login my heavy forwarder. There you go. And then I am going to run CLI command here from opt Splunk bin folder, because CLI command where you will be using in this heavy folder with the opt folder. Deploy and the configuration, I mean the IP address, and along with the management port 8089, and I also log in with my user ID and password. Here we need to restart the Splunk. To restart deployment client, we will initiate handshake with the deployment server. All right, back to the search head in forwarder management. After a restart, the system is shutting down. My Splunk is restarting. Now we have when I go back, I can see only one client here, right? Host name of the heavy forwarder client name, IP address, and other stuff also you can see. Let's add that client to a server class that we need to make our heavy forwarder. For that I have to click on the server class. All right, I have to add clients. After going to server class, let me add the client. There you go, I can add the client, and we can specify that client you want to add. When I'm adding the client, I can specify that client that I wanted to add. Deployed app, it will be now successfully deployed 100%, the app that I am trying to do. You can see that once it is deployed successfully, and I give this IP address. Now go to client and see newly deployed app. In the apps directory, you will be able to see that. go here, and then it will be it is called as a test. There you go. Thank you for watching.